Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm out for a run. It's really windy, we got rain, showers. It's not very good weather to be out wild camping or bushcrafting. So I'm out having a little bit of exercise, but more importantly an experiment to see where I am with my running and whether my knees and feet can allow me to get back into running basically. I can already tell by the very small stints of running and stopping for a walk then running that I've lost all my fitness. I've lost my residual running fitness and style and performance that I had when I stopped, which was possibly 5 years ago. So I'm right back to the beginning, and on top of that I've put weight on, so I've got a real uphill battle with this if at all I can ever get back to being able to run. But this is a first attempt to see if it can happen or continue to try. So this is what Cornwall's doing for us today. It's misty, rainy, foggy, and there's a lot of wind. But it is actually good running weather. If you haven't got the headwind, it keeps you cool. So I'm actually running at a really slow pace. I can actually feel it on my knees or knee, but my feet are holding up my toes and my ankles at the minute because I'm not really, putting huge amounts of effort in. I'm not placing a lot of exertion on my feet, and they're not taking too much impact. But this is only the start. Right, since I last filmed that other bit, I've done about a quarter of a mile and I've stopped. I'm at a steady jogging pace. I could have probably gone further, but this is my first run. I'm just introducing myself back into it. As you could see by the clips, I ain't moving fast. And there is good reason. I ain't out to thrash myself. I'm breaking myself in gently. And as I said, my knee, with the impact on the tarmac, I don't want to jar it and put myself back, because quite simply, I could quite easily forego like jogging or slow running and stick to my cycling and walking. I don't want to lose that capacity by injuring myself. So I'm going to do the running slowly. And if I do find over a period of time that I'm causing myself greater injury or injuries, yes, I will have to conclude I can no longer run. But I'm at a gateway, a favourite gateway of mine, so I'm taking a few moments because you might see some sweat. Yes, there is sweat there. I'm not blowing out my hoof. You will probably remember me if you've been following my channel, me saying I started cycling, and that's paid dividends because where I had to get off and push the bike up hills, I can now cycle the complete loop without getting off. That's obviously enabled me to do the short stints I am without blowing out my hoof, and being totally, well, knackered, cream crackered. So that's paid off. Like I said, I could run, but I'm going to bring myself into this slowly. This is my first one. So I'm going to walk about 100 meters from here. Then I'm going to break into a slow trot and get up to like a jogging speed, and then I'll probably do another quarter of a mile and then come back down again. This circuit is 3 miles. I've already walked it today with the dogs, and yeah, I'm very familiar with it. So my aim is to do this 3 miles, and when I get to the point I can do this 3 miles without stopping at the speed you've seen me run there and not be blowing out my hoof, I will think about increasing distance and possibly speed, but that isn't speed isn't my aim. It's just so I can get out into the country lanes and cover a little bit more distance and walk in a shorter period of time. So I'm going to just get into a little bit of a walk here. I don't want to cool down, and yeah, we'll have a chat in a minute. Now, I have to say that if you're going to go and do any physical exercise and you're not fit and you haven't done anything, I think they recommend you go to your doctor or a medical professional and seek advice on your physical condition and what they recommend you should be doing. So obviously, I'm not following those guidelines. You should. No matter what condition you are, I think they always recommend, if you're going to go into heavy exercise, I'm not sure on what they suggest now, but I would recommend, if you're possibly like myself, not in any good condition, you're trying to get back into it, get some medical advice first. Don't follow what I'm doing, as I always say. But as for kit, I've got my old army PT or running top and a pair of lightweight shorts, and I've got some very comfortable lightweight hiking shoes. They're not full running shoes. That, when I say hiking shoes, they're those real, almost what you call lightweight trail shoes, and they could possibly be described as lightweight trainers, really. But if I can keep this going and I feel satisfied, the first thing I would do is invest in a decent pair of running trainers. So as you can see, I'm breaking all the rules, going against the advice, so don't follow what I'm doing. I'm just bringing you along just to see how this works out for me. And right, I've got to start thinking about running. If I find that running is just too big an ordeal on my knee, like I said, I'm going to call it a day, because I'm not going to sacrifice my surfing, walking, hiking and cycling and other things I do in the outdoors. I'm not here to break myself. This is just an experiment. So yeah, right, let's start getting into it again. Luckily, it's not too hot. This might be a bit more difficult then. Right, catch you in a minute. Ooh. First downhill. And I can see rain up on the moors. Try and open my stride out a little bit downhill. Oh. Catch you guys in a moment. Okay. Now, I could lie to you and say I stopped because of that tractor, but I stopped in the gateway because I was threaders. That was another quarter of a mile, and I'm continuing on now. And I am beginning to feel it in my knee. So yeah, I won't be opening up my stride. I'm just going to keep it short, minimal impact. It seems like that's the way to go for me at the moment. But I couldn't have done this 2 months ago before I started that cycling anyway. So hopefully between these little jogs and cycling, my knee, the joint and muscles around it, will get more firmer and stronger. Right, I'm running up what is the longest and biggest hill of this little 3 mile section, and it does get quite steep. I'm saying running, but you can see it's a very fast shuffle, small jog. But let's see how far I can keep it going. As you can see, might not look steep, but it is. And as you can see, not a lot of traffic uses this lane. I've got more grass in the centre of the road than I have in some parts of my lawn. Whew. Yeah, I am beginning to blow out my ass. Whew. There's a yacht being done up there. That's a long way off from getting in the sea. Ah, the top of the hill. Just over here. Oh. Right, I've made it to a main road and I've got to go straight across there. Like one of those American highways, just goes on forever and ever. Right, let's cross over and keep going. I'll stop when I get to the bottom of this hill for a few moments rest. Total whiteout up on the moors. You can just see over there before it goes up to the high ground. Can't even see it. Right. I've always kind of enjoyed running in the countryside through the lanes because you can cover ground a lot faster than when you're walking. And back when I was at my peak, I could cover a lot of ground. I'm going to see if I can find one of my Strava entries for like 20 miles. Yeah, that might seem a bit of a tall story there, but I'll see, and I'll see if I can post it up here, if I can get it, screenshot it and do it all. I don't even know if I still got Strava, the app, where it would be stored. But in any case, I'll see if I can find that. But yeah, I used to like getting out in the countryside running, and that would be wherever I was too, in whatever part of the country. And I do remember when I was well, over in Cyprus, I used to love getting out and just going for a run out on the old air runways and in all the old deserted buildings, and just getting lost in amongst it. And you could always see the watchtowers of the Turkish in the distance, so you knew you didn't want to get too close to that. But yeah, I used to really enjoy getting lost on the old fire roads and going for a run out there. That kept me sane actually on that particular tour. And when we were in Afghan doing running as a squadron or a troop, you always had to have a few people nominated to run with pistols, obviously because of insider attack and things like that. Thankfully, I never had a pistol unless I was on guard duty. I opted to just keep with my long-barreled SA-80 because we were truck drivers out there, nothing too grand or exciting. But because I had that as my personal weapon, obviously you didn't run with it. It was always the poor guy who thought he was getting away as a truckie or a vehicle opted to carry a pistol because it was lighter weight and things like that. Obviously he would be dicked on PT to carry it because somebody had to carry some sort of protection. Right, I've come up to the junction. The dogs know this junction very well because we can go up through there for well, a footpath walk takes us through fields and comes back on the lane I've just run through, or this one which basically takes me home, and I'm feeling quite excited to get home. Right, keep plodding. Well, it's about a mile from here now, and just over that hedge is an Iron Age hill fort. I think I've shown it to you guys way back when in my video collection. Might have a look at it again some other time. Actually, it's not for, it's a settlement. It's registered, well, it's on the map as a settlement. Well, I just dropped my phone just a minute ago and put another little crack in the screen. That'll learn me, won't it? I've just stopped here because these colours are totally electric. But with shorts and stinging nettles, it's about as far as I'm going to get. But look at that. That just screams British, UK, countryside. Look at that. It's beginning to go yellow. There's still some green amongst it. When it's totally that golden brown colour, it'll be ready to harvest. Now here's a few stats from a 20-mile run that I did and I was talking about, but also some pictures of me when I was at my peak physical fitness in my early 40s, where my physical ability was at its, well, absolute ultimate peak. Well guys, after that run I got home and I had tea. I had a pizza, sat down in the lounge and had a drink, and I decided to get up, and things started to go extremely wrong very quickly. My knee had locked solid and I had shooting pain right the way down through it. So I knew I'd overstretched what I could do with it, and I also ran a hot bath and sat in that for a good 30-40 minutes. Got out, it didn't alleviate it. So I was on painkillers, and yeah, last night I went to bed, my knee was throbbing. And this morning I got up, I'm hobbling along, and it's excruciating. So that confirms, without a shadow of a doubt, even though I felt my knee was stronger and better yesterday, I'm in no physical condition with my knee in anyway to go and start running. So I think I'll have to be content with cycling and walking and hiking. I think any undue pressure on my knee joint, it's just too much for it at the moment, and I think if I continue, I couldn't actually manage to run. I'm actually limping now, but yeah, I woke up feeling pretty despondent, pretty sad. I thought I'd kind of turned a little bit of a corner. The realisation has sank in that my better and best days, you know, physically are behind me. I was hoping for that reprieve where I could, even if I could just run gently, it would be something, but it's not going to happen. Now, I suppose the question is, am I going to get something done about it? Well, yes, I will do, but the priority for me at the moment, I'm already in the hospital waiting list for my eyes, and I'm seeing consultants about my ears. I don't really have the desire, energy or willpower to go through that for a third thing, which is my knee at the moment. So what I'm going to do is rest it up, do my cycling and just basically walking, get back to the point where I can walk again without pain, and yeah, once I've got the rest of my stuff sorted out, I'll then look at getting my knee looked at. Right, I've just had another little pleasant chat with Cycling Bob, and like I've said to you before in the previous video, he's well into his 80s and he's still cycling. He did actually say to me that he went for a long walk, and because he does mostly cycling, he found that that actually you know, hurt his legs. He went for a long walk, and like he said, he wasn't used to walking, it's cycling. So I'm guessing cycling is the low impact form of exercise. So I'll take a leaf out of his book, and that'll be what I continue to push and strive for, you know, my kind of like fitness regime. So there is a lesson to be learnt here, and that is if you're carrying an injury or you're not fully to your best standard physically, it's not worth risking any injury or doing yourself any further damage. I'm giving that kind of little speech now after I've broke every rule. And it's like I said earlier in the video, always get checked out before you do any strenuous physical exercise by a professional, and use the right and correct equipment. Or you too could find yourself in a position like I am at the moment. Well, in an ironic twist, I'm actually wearing the t-shirt "Life Begins at 50. Well, I've tried to run and I've failed spectacularly, and on film. I did consider not putting this one up, but as I'm kind of documenting this portion of my life for the kids as much as myself, yeah, I kind of thought it'd be disingenuous not to do it. So yeah, you've come with me, you've seen me try, because quite simply I felt my knee was going to be strong enough. It's obviously blatantly obvious to you guys, you know, and myself, that it's not, and it's probably never going to be. So this was my last opportunity to try. It has failed, so I'm going to stick to cycling, hiking and walking, and I'm not going to tax this knee. It's probably going to take another couple days to settle down before I can start those activities. I really have kind of hurt it, so I would advise you to take heed of any of the safety advice I gave you in this video if you've got similar situation going on as me. But that being said, I'm glad I've tried for no other reason than to put this to bed, because it's been simmering away in the back of my head thinking I could and I should try. Like we've just discussed, I've failed anyway, so it makes no difference. So what I'm going to do now is concentrate on getting a few of the videos that I've promised out, particularly that going to do a recce in a more challenging environment, and get that video done before I go to Portugal. There's a few other in the pipeline that I've got, so we're going to get that done. And yeah, with this channel, we're still going to push forward. The running side of things was just going to be something that was for my own personal benefit and growth, but it hasn't worked out that way. I'm going to deal with the deck of cards, or the hand of cards that life has given me. People are dealing with a lot worse in life, so I'm going to just, you know, crack on and make things happen here. So thanks for coming along. It was an experiment. It's failed, or I've failed. But yeah, if you don't try, you never know. But thanks for coming along. So take care, stay safe, and hope to see you guys on the trail.